backwards.
At the back, right?
Yeah.
So it's pulling current into the back of the heart, right?
So this is the rationale of putting an azygos lead.
I think it's and the zygos lead is a great lead if you have defibrillation thresholds, or put the lead on the septum. Yeah, but the zygos lead is nice, really nice. It's on the spine, right? Just in front of the spine. And I've never had a DFD failure when valid. So I've had some problems with DFDs in some patients, and when you put the zygos vein in,
is that why you have phased out subcutaneous arrays?
Well, so much better than subcutaneous array.
Okay, now,
But why the
it's okay, go ahead.
subcutaneous array is an anterior structure?
Yeah, that's why it's not good.
It's here, it's not.
Oh,
You put it here.
okay.
But we have new
But then
subcutaneous
someone
ICDs.
punches you here, it breaks your subcutaneous array, right?
Okay, we have new subcutaneous ICDs.
Yes.
Does Abbott do them?
No, we have one in development.
Because they actually,
They're good.
because you're pacing from the sternum.
Your coil is, you're not pacing, you're shocking from here to under the
somewhere
thoracic
there.
muscle here, there.
So I think
That goes to your left ventricle. That's like an AP shot, right?
yes.
Yeah. Works nice. And lots of joules. 80 joules. 80 joules.
But you have a problem with pacing.
Yeah. Most of these patients don't need pacing.
Yeah.
So we haven't got a problem. They haven't got a problem pacing because they don't need pacing.
But
And
I think,
actually, there's only even that. Most patients, only if you have AV block do you need post-op pacing usually.
but I think if we're talking about the future, if you have a patient who only needs shots,
Yeah.
minimally invasive, we were talking away
nice.
from Abbott
Absolutely.
everything.
Absolutely. If I had Brugada syndrome or monkey T, I would ask for
That's okay.
subcutaneous array.
Subcutaneous ICD.
Yeah, subcutaneous array. 100%. So we are making it. It's going to be a bit smaller.
First time it makes sense. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to make this waveform more effective, right? That's one of our things, right? We're going to squeeze it. This is some data from Heart Rhythm Journal, and it talks about, I mean, it's still pretty complicated in terms of what you need to do, right? But the reference here, and I'm saying you're going to get this whole thing as a PDF anyway. So what can we do? Higher energy margins, change the waveform, turn the SVC on or off, polarity reversal, add a subcutaneous array. These are all the different things that you can do if you have a high defibrillation threshold, right? You want to be doing the non-invasive ones first.
Yes.
Yeah, so we're going to do these. We might do this. We might do this. We're going to try and avoid that. We're definitely not going to go and get an extra box, right?
You want to give him amiodarone?
No, I want to
Take away amiodarone.
I want to give him sotalol.
Yes.
Okay, so here's all the options, right? So our waveform is biphasic. It's a fixed tilt, right? Fixed tilt means that the device will stretch the waveform to get all the energy out. Okay. So it stretches the waveform. So high impedance, longer waveform. You'll see what happens in a minute. SVC electrode is off here. Polarity is anodal. That means the shot starts here and goes north and then turns around and comes south. Okay. This has been reasonably well documented to be the most effective waveform. Okay. So we would not change this. So if we go back, this is not option anymore. Don't do it. Not on an Abbott device. If you reverse it on an Abbott device, you're reversing it to the wrong one. Okay? That
would be a lot
is better
less.
than starting here. Okay? So, scrap that. And that's the thing that everybody wants to change.
Yeah.
Not on Abbott
Yes.
devices, okay? So Abbott devices are anodal, Medtronic devices are anodal, Boston devices are cathodal. So on a Boston device, you might want to change it. Anyway,
No, you're
Boston
making a lot of
Medtronic
sense.
devices are cathodal. So yeah, so if you, anyway, but that's up to them. All right, so let's move through here on the, maybe I'll just draw a quick waveform, I'll scrap that, move through this, we can draw this for the time being. Too many lines here. So, I'm going to just bring it on a little bit to this picture here.
You want to squeeze it.
So, yeah, you want to squeeze the waveform, right? You want to be squeezing the defibrillator waveform
How do you do that?
into a, we just tell it. So these numbers here, so we saw the optimal tilt, right? So the tilt of a waveform is, so they always get asked, they often ask on an IBHRE exam, right? The tilt is this. So here's just a monophasic waveform, right?
Yes.
Let's say this is 900 volts. So this is the capacitors discharging, right? This is the voltage on the capacitors bleeding across the patient when he's shocking it, right? So the capacitors charge up, and then this is it as it empties current across the patient. So we start at 900 volts, and then the voltage is dropping because the capacitors is pushing current across the patient, and then at a percentage of this number, that's the tilt, okay? It switches. So if we go with a 50% tilt to keep the numbers easy, that would be 400 volts. So it stops. So it's going that way until the capacitors get the 400 volts, and then it turns around. Okay? And then the second phase starts at 400 volts, yeah? That's 400 volts there because that's what's left on the capacitors, and then it will bleed the capacitors down to this 50% tilt again. That's 200, right? Yeah? A 65% tilt will be down to like 325. Okay, so it will keep going until it gets to 325 or 65% of this number. Okay, so it's a longer waveform. Okay, so the higher the tilt, the longer the waveform. Just imagine I go to 100% tilt. Well, that's to zero, right?
If the impedance is low, you can get it faster. But that's the passive characteristic of the tilt.
It's current running across a resistor. The resistor is the patient. Yeah. The resistor is high impedance. It's just the patient, right? It's not the coil, it's the patient. The patient is resistant. Then it takes longer for the current to squeeze through, right? It's just electrons moving, right? And they will vibrate, right? Okay? Does that make sense?
Makes a lot of sense.
Good. So then the optimal tilt, or rather the optimal programming of the shock waveform came out of a number of studies, but this is one of the studies that shows it quite nicely. So the optimal tilt is variable, or is dependent upon the impedance of the patient. All right. So in the red bands is okay, right? Somewhere between sort of 3.5 and 5-ish. Okay. Wait, this is the shock waveform duration. Okay. So we want anything. If it's in here, it's okay, right? But it's not like if it goes over, it's bad, right? It's just not as good. So let's go with a 42% tilt. So this is the 42% tilt, and 42% tilt only becomes optimal at around 60 ohms, okay, the lower value, and then becomes bad, i.e., right, too long. This is too short. This is too long. So it's bad up to sort of 60, and then at about sort of 80, it gets bad. Okay. A 65% tilt, which is what Abbott are nominally programmed to, is this purple one here. This one here. This is 65% tilt. This one here. So you can see it becomes optimal at about 30 ohms. Starts at 30, and it finishes just under 50 ohms.
Mine was 77.
Yours is 77.
Where that's why it was 8.4. Just where you are.
You are here.
That's 8.4.
Yeah? 8.4 milliseconds. There, okay? So this is where he is. This is optimal. He's a long way from optimal. So a lot of patients, if you deliver that shock at that duration, they're okay, right? They just have to have something, they might be on amiodarone, or it might be in VF for like minutes. So they have something that's nudged their DFT up. Most people's DFT is about 11 joules, right? But if you put amiodarone on that, a maturation effect, a bit of ischemia, whatever, it starts to nudge up and then it becomes a problem, right? It's a bit Swiss cheesy, right?
Sorry, the 8.4 seconds.
Yes, milliseconds.
Milliseconds, sorry. Does it have anything to do with the DFT?
No.
How do you put them all into one context?
The milliseconds. So what we can then do is for our patient, right? So he was up here, right? So if we change the tilt value,
okay,
which then changes the duration of the waveform,
yes,
we can then go, okay, well, what would we want to program? Well, let's look at 50% tilt. Here's 50% tilt running up here. He's at around 70. Okay.
So not good enough.
It's not good enough. It's close. It's better than that. So the optimal tilt in this man would be at 42%.
Okay.
Yeah, because that 75 ohms, it's in the band.
So the
that we want to be in.
the shock duration is going to go
Low.
going to go shorter.
Shorter, yeah.
Does that change the DFT number?
Yes. So we will reduce his DFT by doing that.
So by this way, we're making the shocks more effective
But shorter.
by reducing the DFT, by reducing the time, by reducing the tilt.
And reducing the energy. And he's got less energy.
If the DFT goes down, it reduces energy.
But we reduce the output of your device. So this is a 40 joule device, so we might bring it down to 37 ohms.
That's
But
because the
energy
DFT has gone down, or because
because you've shortened the amount of time you could deliver current over.
Oh yes.
So your energy goes down, but it's not about energy. This is about current. So we quote energy all the time, right?
Yes.
Because it's easy.
confusing.
It's nonsense. Nearly nonsense. It's current that defibrillates people, not energy. If I come in with a gun and you're a VF and I shoot you, I will not stop your VF, right? Or if I put a pacemaker into you, if you're in VF and I put a pacemaker into you, and I can get 30 joules out of a pacemaker.
Yes.
Easy.
But not the
I
current.
program 7 volts for like a minute, and that's 30 joules, right?
Yes, that's why it never makes sense.
It doesn't make sense, right?
Yeah.
You'd be dead.
Exactly. It's all about
Okay.
current and not about joules.
Correct, right? So this is what we wanted to do to this man. We want to bring his pulse durations, this thing here was 9 milliseconds nearly, and we want to bring that down to
4.5.
to 5. So in this band here, okay? So the easy fix, the easy way to do that is we just go to, we can either just change this tilt number. Okay, we can change this number here. So if it's using that table, we can work out that. Or the other thing we can do is we can change it to, we can actually prescribe the individual durations. So we can say phase 1 needs to be this, phase 2 needs to be this. Okay? And we have a little lookup table. I'll show you here. Actually, I'll go on the programmer. Wait a minute. Quickly show you the programmer. So on the programmer, I can go to the tachycardia settings. So if I go to tachy settings, and down here, DFT response settings, or BEF response setting, I can open that up. So here in this patient here, this demo patient, I've got an impedance of 42 ohms, which makes a waveform of 5 milliseconds. That's not too bad, okay? Because he's got a low impedance, right? Remember on the graph? So he's in the red band.
Yeah.
Okay? 65% tilt. So I can either change the tilt for that patient to probably 50%, and that will